Hello everyone, it's your girl Cosmic Jazz 222, and today I am back with another collective reading. And as you can tell by the title, this is in regards to the total solar eclipse and new moon that is happening on April 8th in the sign of Aries. There's a lot of discussions and a lot of fear surrounding this eclipse, and I just want to touch on to that. I want to see what's really going on, because I'm sensing that there's a lot of fear and there's a lot of big changes coming in, but I want to give you guys some clarity, and I want to provide some form of reassurance that you don't really have nothing to be afraid of. It's more of how can you work with the energy to your benefit. So if you don't know who I am, let me introduce myself. I am Jasmine, and I am a little psychic here on YouTube who talks about tarot, astrology, spirituality, and honestly, anything that's happening up in the stars. So, with that being said, if you are someone, and this is a disclaimer, if you're someone who does not like these topics and it triggers you and it makes you feel uncomfortable, please stay clear of my channel just for your own peace of mind. And what I'm about to do is I'm going to give a collective reading, so this will be general. That means not every single thing is going to resonate with you, and that's completely fine. Use my readings as guidance and confirmation for you, and that's the best way to go about it. All right, guys, so I want to touch on this eclipse that's happening on Monday, April 8th. What I've been feeling is going to bring a lot of changes, but I want to make note of the positioning of the planets, if you know anything about astrology. So, of course, the reason why this will be a total eclipse, new moon eclipse at that, is because the sun and the moon are going to be conjunct, meaning they're going to be right on top of each other. And that makes sense, right? Because an eclipse, or a solar eclipse at that, is when the moon passes over the sun based on our perspective on Earth, and it creates this big cataclysmic event in the sky, basically. Now, the reason why it's more of an eclipse is because this is tying into the North Node and the South Node in astrology, and this is like a point that is calculated, I believe. And the North Node is sitting in the sign of Aries, and this is representing our destiny, where we're supposed to go as a collective at the moment. And what we're supposed to let go of is the South Node, or learn from the South Node, which is in the sign of Libra. And the South Node is the past, it's our karma. And the sign of Libra represents relationships, codependency, anything that is relating to trying to people please, and losing ourselves in the process just for the sake of being accepted, be it through friendship, socially, even romantically, So these are some things that we will be experiencing. But on top of that, guys, what makes this energy more potent is the fact that Chiron is going to have a lot of influence on this solar eclipse, because Chiron is in the sign of Aries, and I believe that it's going to conjunct the solar eclipse. And Chiron is the asteroid used in astrology that is known as the wounded healer. So Chiron points to aspects of our life where we do experience a lot of pain and trauma and wounds. And with it being the wounded healer, we're meant to essentially address those wounds, those traumas, and we're meant to heal from it. And as a result of that, we can teach others to heal from it as well. So what we will be seeing with this eclipse, and the fact that this is happening during a Mercury retrograde is ridiculous. But anyways, what we will be seeing with this eclipse, we're going to see a lot of triggering. Okay, everyone is going to get triggered in some way. It could be very small. It can be like, oh, I'm pissed off because there's traffic today, or I can't get to work on time, or I had a little scuffle with a coworker or my friends or my family, and we're not agreeing on a topic. Or it can be something more intense. Now, I want to put into perspective what Aries represent. Aries is the sign of power. It's the sign of leadership. Aries rules over the mantra, I am. So Aries can represent how we feel about ourselves and who we are, what our identity is, and where we get that power from. So when you put all this triggering and eclipses with this energy, what we start to see is a lot of people are going to be questioned or be called to face where in their life do they feel powerless? What situations have made them feel powerless or feeling like they have lacked control. What situations do we experience that strip that power away from us, where we felt like a victim, where we felt like we were taken advantage of in some way? What situations have triggered us to a point where we care so much, right? And it makes us, angry. It makes us very violent. It makes us very chaotic. And that's what Aries represents. Aries can be equated to violence. It can be equated to battles. It can be equated to anger, as Aries is ruled by the planet Mars. Mars is the planet of aggression, passion, sex, but getting things done. On top of that, guys, if we're dealing with Martian energy, we're dealing with the masculine. So what we're going to see throughout this eclipse is a lot of masculine energies are going to be triggered. So this can be men. We're going to see a lot of men triggered during this time. We're going to see our masculine side, okay? Because we all have feminine and masculine energy. So our masculine side can be brought up to the congregation to face what traumas or wounds that we have to address. Okay, so those are some things we need to consider when it comes to this eclipse. Specifically, a lot of Aries people, or those who have a lot of Aries placements, will be feeling this energy, but also the cardinal signs. So Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Because of you guys are cardinal signs, but even if you're not a cardinal sign, we all have Aries in our chart. So if you want to look at how this eclipse is affecting you, you can go to a birth chart calculator, or transit calculator, and you can see where Aries is placed in your chart and what houses Aries rules over, or what planets are in Aries, and you can have an idea of what area of life will be impacted for you, okay? So with that being said, I want to pull some cards to get more messages out of this. But those are some things you can expect from this eclipse. But the most important thing, guys, this eclipse is supposed to bring into perspective what we can do to regain our power. Okay, what we can do to maintain control over our lives and over ourselves, because we tend to react to things. We tend to lose ourselves because of how something played out. And the power in all of this is how we can control ourselves and how we can act instead of reacting. So that's the power play here. And I want to let you guys know about that. So I want to start with some angel numbers. Okay, what messages does the collective need to know about the eclipse that's happening on Monday? Let's start off. So the first card we have is 26. I am tactful. You have a desire to succeed and will feel most accomplished when your work benefits others. Your intuitive awareness of what people want allows you to come up with innovative solutions to meet their needs. So there is something here about compromising. There is something here about learning how to maneuver through certain things. And maybe the number 26 could be significant for some of you. Maybe some of you guys are the age 26. But what this is telling me is work smarter, not harder. And that could be the key to many things when it comes to life. If some of you guys are noticing, man, I'm putting too much effort into this and I'm not getting any benefits back from this, or I'm too invested, you have to play it smart. You have to use your intuition to help you move through certain things. And I feel like what this eclipse is trying to do is make us see a different side to ourselves, and how that side can actually be the key to overcoming many obstacles and challenges that we have in life. Maybe we're too narrow-minded. Maybe we just want to jump head first into things like an Aries. But what we really need is to look at different perspectives. And that's what I'm seeing with the Libra energy. So this feels like Libra. So as we are letting go of certain things relating to Libra, as the South knows in Libra, Libra is also trying to give us some type of wisdom, like, hey, we still need balance either way. And we can't just constantly be in Aries energy. We need to learn how to kind of down the fire a little bit and bring in balance. So that's what I'm saying with this. And the last card that try to flip out, I'm going to take this. It says 444. That might be your number, angel number you're seeing a lot. It says, I am protected. Trust your journey. Trust the way your life unfolds. And trust that you are where you need to be at the present moment. So what this is telling me, guys, with this eclipse, is going to bring in a lot of changes. A lot of changes that might be unexpected. But I want you guys to remember is you are protected. And despite what happens, despite how things transpire, you are where you need to be. And things happen for a reason. All right. So I want you guys to remember that. And you know what's so crazy? Based on your chart, some people may not really feel the effects of the eclipse. That's what's crazy about this. But a lot of people will. Some may not. So again, it depends on your chart. Some of you guys, I'm being called to tell you, definitely call in protection, pray for protection, just because this eclipse can be quite unpredictable. And also, I'm being called to say this as well. There's been a lot of events happening recently, a lot of strange events. I mean, we had the, exposure with Hollywood and celebrities such as like Diddy and Nickelodeon, which all are tying in with the Aries North Node. Just so you know, I remember I did say we're supposed to acknowledge where we fall victim to or where we feel like a victim. And notice how everybody is starting to come out and speak out about their experiences of the past. A lot of men specifically, and I did predict this. We're going to see that coming out some more. Maybe this might be a theme in your life. Maybe you're going to come out and speak up about your experiences with people and how they possibly took advantage of you, if that's your story. We also are seeing a lot of strange phenomenons. We had the bridge collapse in Baltimore. If you're in the United States, you might have heard of that. We've been having very strange weather. We've been seeing floods everywhere. We've had earthquakes. There was an earthquake in Taiwan, I believe, and there's a tsunami watch that's impacting Japan. And then now, recently, on my birthday, there was a little earthquake on the East Coast, and we barely get any earthquakes where we're at. So this is showing that there's a shift that's happening, and we've been having a lot of strange weather, a lot of lightnings and storms. So things are ramping up, and it's supposed to bring in some type of change and expose us and show us where we need to change things. So with that being said, I want to pull from my astrology deck. What else does the collective need to know in regards to the eclipse that's occurring on Monday? I would not be surprised if we see more strange, natural events to come. We have Neptune. So during the eclipse or around the eclipse, the days leading up and after, don't be surprised if you have strange dreams or very intense dreams. Neptune also rules over Pisces. Pisces deals with the water. So if you've been dreaming of water a lot, that is a sign. That is a message regarding your emotional space, but also could be a foreshadowing. For me, I've been having dreams about waters, floods, tsunamis, oceans, just a lot of water. And I know many other psychics or people who are not really wanting to tap into their gifts, but they tell me, hey, I've been having dreams about water. And it's crazy. Later on, we are seeing a lot of floods happening all of a sudden, a lot of tsunamis, earthquakes. And we're even seeing issues with like export and transport, like the bridges collapsing and all of that over top of water. So if you're having dreams of water, that's because of the eclipse and what's happening in the transits. Wow, underneath, I'm not making this up. Underneath the deck was Pisces. So if you are Pisces, you possibly are dreaming about water. Okay. So I would say we should continue to look at the water, see what's happening with the oceans, the lakes, even with storms. Okay, so we got Gemini. Communication. All right, and we have Psyche. So Gemini deals with communication and thoughts, and Mercury is going retrograde. We also have Psyche, which is soul connection. So I do feel like during this eclipse, guys, there is going to be a lot of miscommunication. There's going to be a lot of, I said one thing, but I really meant the other thing, or I don't know how to express myself correctly. There's something here about during the eclipse, we're being called to understand connections, understand how we interact with other people and what their experiences are. There's something here, and I can't help but to feel this. During this eclipse, we need to let our intuitions guide us. Some things may happen that may not follow logic. I'm going to tell you guys this. Certain things in your life might be happening around the eclipse, and you may not understand it. You might not be able to reason out or come up with some type of logical response to this because it's so abstract. Or maybe this could be like on the subconscious state, you know? Let your intuition guide you. That's the best way to maneuver this energy. Again, it's not to scare you guys, but again, we can't ignore how unpredictable eclipses can be and how people could be reacting to it. So let your intuition guide you. Pay attention to your dreams, write it out. But something here is telling me that we will be understanding the other more, but it comes with us understanding ourselves first, understanding how we can or how we can act on things and how we can maneuver. And then once we understand how we can respond to certain things and where our mindset is, we can understand other people. I do feel like more people will also be having dreams about important connections to come. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised after the eclipse, we might see people partnering up. I'm seeing more soulful connections. Some people might think it as a twin flame connection, but I'm not going to speak on that. But I do feel like there's more cosmic unions coming through after the eclipse. But this comes with us breaking down connections that do not serve us anymore, that are not helping us. And we know there's a lot of connections out here that are just very toxic and unhealthy. Those are going to come to an end for sure. And all the truth and the lies and deception will be revealed. And it's going to be common knowledge. So I am seeing that. Let's see, anything else the collective needs to know about the eclipse? Vesta. And we will be looking at aspects of our life that needs our devotion, that needs us to be of service. So I do see people focusing on their life purpose and approaching life from a pure, straightforward, and genuine perspective. I see more people wanting to help others. I'm seeing humanitarian work. I'm seeing people want to be a volunteer, service. So if you've been called to do it, that's something you should be looking at. And it's all because we need to revisit the past. Retrograde. This is all for us to revisit the past and get clear on how we're supposed to proceed forward. All right, so let's get into the cards. Let's see, what else does the collective need to know about the eclipse? What else does the collective need to know about the eclipse? Okay. So I'm seeing a rebirth. The death card showed up reverse. I'm not going to take it though, but there's this is supposed to bring in reform and rebirth to the collective. It feels like a reset. There's a reset that's happening with this eclipse. Okay, what does Chloe need to know? We have the Two of Cups. So connections are definitely going to be a primary focus. And this all ties back to how we feel about ourselves, the relationship with ourselves. But we're going to be reevaluating our relationships, relationship with other people, with family, with friends, with money, with possessions, resources, with career, with life purpose, even our connection to spirit, to God. And this is a judgment call for the past. You know, are we going to repeat the same mistakes? Have we picked up on the patterns? Have we picked up on the cycles? Have we healed? Are we better? Are we in healthier connections as a result of it? Or do we still need to heal from it? So these are some things that will be brought up. Okay. We have the Page of Cups reverse. I'm definitely feeling like during this time, again, the emotional part of people are going to be very heightened. People are going to be more sensitive, more triggered. And I'm actually sensing with the Page of Cups reverse, any emotions that have not been said, that have not been expressed, will come out. Now, how we decide for it to come out, it depends on us. But I'm seeing repressed emotions wanting to come to the surface and to be discussed. And it's more like, I want to be heard, or I want to hear people out. I want to see why we do certain things, where all this animosity might be coming from, or why do we keep things to ourselves. So this definitely feels like people want to be more authentic and release any burdens, emotional baggage that they might be facing. Okay, we have the Page of Swords. Yeah, I'm seeing communication. I'm seeing more like I'm speaking up now. I'm speaking up. And I see that there will be a space for people to speak up more. So collective, don't be surprised if you're starting to see more people around you speak up, or even you feeling called to speak up. I see a space being created for that. So if you have been called to speak up, make sure you are speaking up to those who are willing to listen. Those who are willing to listen will help you during this journey. Yeah, and it's regarding disappointments. I also feel like some people will be realizing that they're no longer invested in connections. They're no longer invested in maybe the connection they're in now or the connections of the past. And I'm seeing this detachment with the Page of Cups as well. And I'm seeing people speak up. So collective, if you feel like a connection is no longer serving you, or you feel like you are on different pages and you don't see any way of this progressing, I'm seeing expression of that. It might hurt at first. It might feel bad for this to happen, but this is all needed. Yep, the Knight of Pentacles. There's just going to be a lot of truths revealed during this time on a global scale, but also on a personal scale. The truth hurts. That's what I'm hearing. The truth will hurt, but it needs to be heard. It needs to be said, and it needs to be acknowledged. I'm feeling like whatever you guys are wanting to release or let it be known, even on a collective scale, it's been a long time coming with the Knight of Pentacles, and it will lead to growth and reconstruction, essentially. And this is based on things you learned. You learned the wisdom. Yeah, wow. Not these falling out. Okay, I'm gonna put it over here. The World reverse. As much as there's gonna be global things happening, there's something here about learning from repeated cycles and finally moving forward in a consistent, slow-moving, yet precise way. So, collective, don't be surprised if you want to change something about your life because you realize the pattern, or a pattern was made known to you and you just don't want to repeat it. So, expect that. The Fool is reversed. I saw 555, so yeah, that's confirmation. 555 is all about changes. And the Fool reverse is all about being mature. It's about being mature. So the goal of this eclipse is all about how can we be mature? How can we step up and lead the life that's meant for us? How can we shed the past and move on healthy, move on with healing energy? And how can we incorporate those lessons and wisdom into our life so that we can finally change and finally embrace new opportunities? So that's the goal of this eclipse. We have the King of Cups reversed, the King of Swords. Yeah, people are definitely going to be speaking up more. I see more men. I keep saying this. More men are going to speak on repressed emotions, and it's coming with this the essence is like, I'm done holding back. I'm done being quiet. I'm done being hushed up. I'm going to say what I need to say. Yes, I'm angry. Yes, I'm heartbroken. Yes, I was hurt. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. Yep, the Emperor. Aries. Ooh. So if you are a man, if you're a masculine, this is your time to express yourself. Okay? And a lot of this is dealing with father wounds. And I'm seeing that clear as day. Emperor is father. But this is all about taking back control. The Emperor is all about control, authority, stability, structure, and living an honest and structured life. The Hermit reverse, yeah, coming out of the shadows, coming out of the cave. So I'm definitely seeing more people speak up. Two of Swords. Empress reverse, this is maternal. So a lot of this is dealing with self-value. It's dealing with insecurities. What's so interesting is, wow, the Justice card. You know what's crazy? I'm getting this message. I know women tend to be more open about how they feel, but there's something here about the fact that men are coming out about their experiences is going to be a bit of a shocker to a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people are not going to know how to handle it. Because it's like, it's something that's so prominent, but yet the fact that we're not seeing it or we're choosing not to see it is going to be an issue. So, wow, yeah, it's going to cause an uproar. So, yeah, more guys are going to be speaking out. I see more guys talking about their feelings and their experiences. And I'm seeing it's dealing with like messed up family dynamics. So that, yeah, that's some things that might be coming out for the collective. But it feels more global. Okay. So what can the collective do? What can the collective do in regards to the eclipse? Ace of Wands reverse. I would say don't manifest. Don't try to manifest during the eclipse because the energy is just so potent and I don't want to say bipolar. I was about to say bipolar. No, not bipolar. It's very like unexpected. Take this time to reflect. Take this time to get to the bottom of whatever is causing you to feel discouraged, lack power, and insecure. That's the best way to go about it. Get clear first. Okay, what else does the club need to know? Six of Swords reverse. Address the past if you need to. Six of Swords reverse. I'm also saying something about the internet. I'm seeing something about the internet, speaking on the internet. Be mindful what you post. Get the Judgment card versus lack of support. Be conscious of what you post and what you express to those on the internet. If you have to first address it with yourself and then address it with those who honor you, those who are willing to listen, and then it can lead to this. I'm telling you, at first, people are not going to be open to hearing. I'm seeing that, especially if you're posting things on the internet. Yeah, the Hierophant reverse. I'm sensing, yeah, this is going to be quite triggering, Ten of Swords. But eventually, it's going to open space for more conversations. Okay. So, with that being said, I want to end off on Buddha wisdom. And this is more as food for thought to end off the reading. So, okay, so let's see. What final messages do you have for the collective in regards to the eclipse? Find joy in giving. Happiness is your reward. So that's the first message. There we go. Find joy in giving. Happiness is your reward. Next card is set your heart on doing good, do it over and over again, and you'll be filled with joy. So there is something here about helping others and seeing the value of uplifting everybody, and that bringing in joy for you. Okay, and the last card is the world always finds a way to praise and a way to blame. The wise continually praises. So there is something here about not always pointing fingers. Again, there's something here about understanding other people's perspective, yet that might be an issue at first. I'm seeing with the eclipse, people are going to be triggered. I feel like everybody is going to want to speak out. And it's like, it's more of, I don't want to listen right now because I need you to hear me. So I am seeing that. So be conscious of, if you do get an argument, for example, or disagreement, don't be so quick to blame and point fingers and make conclusions or jump to conclusions. You never know what someone's story is. You never know what they're going through. That's the message coming through. So once you hear all perspectives, that's when you can make your final judgment. I'm also getting, when things do happen, even if it's like sour, it goes sour, or there's a failure here, there's reverence for all experiences. It's like not blaming people or blaming God or blaming this, blaming that for certain bad things that do happen, but giving praise, like this is part of my experiences and this is part of my growth. All right, so that's the final messages. I hope that resonated, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.